It's so different, huh?
Just every single time, Jessie's like, "Oh, that's nice and clear." Go to Slack. Hello, this is SlackLizard. It's fine. It always comes out fine. Don't worry about it.
Make me feel guilty over here.
Mister,
Grab my keyboard and smash it all over my mic now. I'll go back to my little. Let me get my USB headset.
Day, Slack, and I'll be there. It's that button. Okay, recording.
Yeah, now recording.
Good. Jeez. Hello and welcome back to the Minecraft Update Podcast. It is, of course, me, FoxyNoTail, and I am joined, as usual, by SlackLizard and Jessiie B. Thankfully, we almost didn't make it, but we're back here together. It's been a little while. What have you guys been up to?
I have been tired. But,
right?
guys,
it's not like it's early 30.
I know. It's not like the sun just came up. But I did it. I recorded. It happened. There's a video. It's coming out. I am happy.
Yay.
So, I mean, good week.
Good for you, Jessiie. I'm glad you're back on it. And so what was all that about? What did you record?
Well, I got pranked by Tues, so that was fun. And then I got pranked by Zap, and that was also fun.
Good.
And then I made a shop. So, you know, pretty well-rounded episode, I'd say.
Excellent. And what are you selling at the shop?
Crystals.
Oh, nice. Good.
And tinted glass.
Ah, my favorite. Oh, that's good news.
You don't need that. No, no. Okay, no.
Sorry.
Bad Fox.
Nope.
And have you done up to anything else, Jessiie, before we move on to Slack?
I have been testing out streaming while Evie is awake. I almost completely forgot about that. And it's going really well. And I think that means, guys, I might be able to get a schedule down.
No way.
Oh,
No.
wow. Yeah.
No, wow.
Yeah.
Things are really
fired.
moving for Jessiie B. You're going to get ill again next week. That'll be it.
Yeah, completely fired.
You knock on wood.
Jessiie B firing on. Oh no, wait, she's in the toilet again.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Oh, well.
She suddenly hit burnout. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Bless you, poor Jessiie. I'm so
Have no
glad that you're
motivation.
back on track. That's good news, and that'd be amazing for you to have a schedule because
I would love it.
that'd be fantastic. You used to do a lot of streaming when Ethan was young. Right?
Yeah. I used to stream every day, Monday through Friday, with Ethan at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'd go for 2 hours a day, 3 hours, and I loved it. It was so much fun. And Ethan was chill. He was like, yeah, cool. I'm going to sit here on my iPad, just going to come up every once in a while and talk to stream. And it was great. And now I think Evie's headed in that direction, which means, yes, more content, more stuff to do.
Woo-hoo.
So happy.
Nice. Good. Excellent. What about you, Slack? What have you been doing this week?
You know, before she said something, I had a nice, proper, organized answer, and now it's just gone. I have no clue what I've done this week.
Oh, blame Jessiie.
All I can see right now out the left side of my vision is just the sun blaring through the window.
Okay.
And I'm just like, oh, it's really early. I've been recording. I've got back on that bandwagon, hammering out episodes. I did like a 12-hour recording session the other day. It was lots of fun. Other than that, it's just getting back in the flow of things. My health is finally recovering good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling better than I have in, honestly, years. So it's just getting back on the wagon. That about covers my week. Seems about right. I can't remember my proper answer. Jessiie took it away from me.
I'm sorry.
Fox was
Wow.
like, how's your week been? And I was like, I'll just wait just a second. 2 seconds, 3 seconds. It's like Jessiie saying goodbye to the people. Is she ever going to do it? And then she starts talking, and like everything I had just goes poof right out the window. Good job, Jessiie.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Wow. Jeez. Tell us how you really feel, Slack. It must be, so Slack talking about it being early in the morning. We were supposed to record this yesterday evening, but Slack had a bit of a family emergency. And as a result, we're now recording it for them too. Jessiie and Slack very, very early in the day. And sad news for you guys, but good news for me because it's lovely and nice and, cozy in the afternoon. It makes my life lots easier. So thank you very much. So has there been anything else you've been going on? Truly Bedrock, your other series that you're doing at the moment? What's going on?
Just recording and getting back on the bandwagon. The other series that I'm doing It's still Bedrock series, but instead of simulation distance 4, it's 6, which is
No,
making things. No, it's actually been quite interesting and fun. Yeah, except the spawning sphere on Sphere Sim 6 is so broken. It's so broken. It literally goes out 5 chunks. That's it. It won't go out more. It's supposed to be 128, but it doesn't go out 128. It will only go out 5 chunks from you.
Like in the good old
horizontally.
days.
But vertically, it'll go up 128. So it's like an egg.
Huh.
Oh, no.
It's not a sphere. It's like an egg. It's beyond broken. It's gave me a headache.
Is it like round, or does it follow chunk lines? Because back in the early days of Bedrock, the spawning distance was like it followed the chunk lines perfectly rather than it being a radius.
So north, south, east, west, it follows the chunks up to 5 chunks. Nothing will spawn past 5 chunks.
Wow.
That's its most. So it's 24 to 5 chunks. That's it. The end of 5 chunks. So mobs will start spawning at 24 blocks away, but they will dead hardcore stop at 5 chunks out.
Wow.
Now, vertically, it goes all the way up to 24 to 128 blocks. So you got like a chunk sphere around you, but then as it goes up and down, it eventually turns into a dome, a sphere. It's broken. And don't even get me started on Sim 8, because like on one side it's chunk lined and it goes up to 6 chunks, so it'll be like 4 chunks on the left, and then when you go to the right, it only does like 1 chunk. No.
I think we'll stick with sim distance of 4 on Truly Bedrock. It may seem to make a lot more sense.
It's a little broken.
Jeez. Okay. Well,
what about your week?
Yeah, this week and last week and the week before, I went away for a couple of weeks on and off to see family. And while I was there, I decided when I had a free evening and my laptop in my hand that I would do a little bit of tinkering on my website, which then led me down a path that has been nonstop, about 24 hours a day, sat constantly in front of my screen, tapping my keyboard and building things that on one hand, are probably going to be completely pointless because I can't imagine I'll ever finish them, because at some point I really do need to get back into recording videos and doing, what I'm supposed to do for a living. But basically, the idea is it started off really simply. I've got my brightness resource pack that you might know about, and it's a bit of a pain to have to redo every time there's a new texture comes out, or if I want to redo it. Particularly, it's a pain when I had to uninstall Photoshop the other week because of whatever reason. And when I reinstalled it, it lost all my settings. So I had to try and figure out how I'd actually applied the brightness settings, because believe it or not, it's not just adding brightness, it's doing things with the image to keep contrast nice and soften it, and basically so you don't lose any of the highlights or the shadows, but it still makes things overall brighter. So I thought, how hard could it be to do that on a website? So I would just put the latest Minecraft version files onto my website, press a button, it would take out all of the most recent textures, edit them all, and then put them in another pack. And to be honest with you, that took me about 10 minutes. 10 minutes to do that, worked perfectly. But I didn't want it on that domain that it was on. It was on my FoxyNoTail.com one. And because that's it, basically I didn't want it attached to that, because it's a big file size. There's a lot of messing about. So I thought I put it on a different one. And when I moved it to the different one, there was a slight difference in version numbers. So everything broke. And then it took me 2 days to get back to the same state I was at that after 10 minutes. But then that worked. And then I got home from my holiday and thought, no, I don't want it on that system. I want going to build it all at home, and I'm going to build a bigger one, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to do all my packs. And then what this is all led to is the thing that I'm now I've got that working, by the way. I can press a button and it'll do a brand new brightness pack and upload it to the website, which is fantastic. But the thing that I'm now doing is I thought, when we get a new version of Minecraft, and we talk about it in the news here, and we play it, you get a changelog, but the changelogs are a bit rubbish, really, aren't they, for Bedrock Edition? They don't really tell you what's changed at all, apart from a few bug fixes and some minor things. And quite often, for me as a resource pack and behavior pack person, I have to go into the files bit by bit and try and figure out what entities have been changed and what's gone on. And you quite often find that a lot of things have changed that they haven't told you about. So now what I've done, I've written a system that will analyze every single one of your packs, work out what's changed, what's new, what's gone, and then it will spit it all out into a user-friendly way of looking at it. And it's nearly finished. And I'm going to have that so that's available on my website, so people can go to my website and go, what's the difference between this version and the previous version? It'll go, well, there's a new entity. This has changed on it. It's got these different textures. This sound file's changed. This behavior's changed, and it doesn't do this anymore. And it'll give you all that information, which I think will just be a lot better. So yeah, that's coming, but it's hard work. It's very hard work.
There's a new file here. It does this, and this. Jeff is going to go in and put a period on every one at the very end just to mess with one of your updates.
Yeah, probably. Probably. Hopefully the system will be smart enough to notice that. It actually reads it can't read really. I mean, I could make it read the actual textures and sound files, but I'm not going to get that pedantic with it. But it does read the behavior files, the entities and the resource pack stuff, and it links all of the files together. And what it also does for my benefit as well, although I won't be able to put this on the website, is it generates, how in if you go into the data files of the actual Minecraft installation, you've got the behavior packs folder and there's a resource packs folder. And within each of those, there's the behavior packs and resource packs for every version of Minecraft, vanilla Minecraft, since vanilla 1.14. And when they add a new update, 1.18 comes along, they add a vanilla 1.18 folder, and that's got stuff in there that overwrites the other stuff, but they're all still there. So this also just scoops out all of the latest files and puts them in just a completely separate resource pack for me, so that I can then go, these are all the latest files. If I want to start working on something new, these are the ones to work with. So, yeah, many, many good things come in for me, not necessarily everyone else. But I think it'll be useful. I think other people hopefully find it useful.
It's just a little time consuming.
I mean, it sounds useful. Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Just talking about how you're not recording and stuff. That's a lot of work you're doing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's been
solid. Know as a content creator, you're supposed to be putting out content. So I know you've had a few weeks off and you went and seen family and you experienced the real world, and it's like it sucked you in.
I saw what was outside, Slack.
Don't go to the light. Come back into the cave.
Nice.
No, back to the cave.
No, it's. I do need to make videos and I do need to keep going with content. But one of the biggest things for my channel and what I do is making packs for people. And I've got that many packs now that are out of date because I'm so frustrated on trying to find out what's wrong with them and fix them. So realistically for me, this is a way of me making life easier for myself in the long run so that I can, keep those things going and keep that side of my channel going, really. So that's what it comes down to. And obviously helping out the Bedrock Edition community because I'm a gosh darn hero, Slack and Jessiie.
It's like you made this launcher and now they're like, oh, let's just make it easier to get into preview. And Foxy's like, well, that kind of killed my launcher.
Well, it didn't.
So I'll make a way to get a more in-depth changelog, and you watch and the 6 updates now. They'll be like, here, you want detailed changelogs? And Foxy's gonna be like, really, Jeff? Thank you.
Probably. They're already thinking about putting one player sleeping, apparently. So
that's been a thing they've been talking about for a while.
Yeah, so they are, they're onto me. They're trying to, solve all of the things. They're trying to ruin my revenue stream by doing everything I'm already doing. But my Virgin Switch is still going strong. I still use it daily because I'm still stuck in the beta and can't download the latest version.
The beta that doesn't even exist no more. That's
exactly.
Great. Love it. Love
exactly. It. So it's good for, if no one else needs it, at least I get some use out of it.
Mojang just trying to help you out, to nudge you to say, hey, don't forget to record. Just saying.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, enough of my week, enough of your weeks. Let's find out what the people thought of us last week, which was technically 2 weeks ago, and look at the podcast, the feedback. And there's many feedbacks.
Why do I see feedback books?
Yeah, we did mention in the last live stream podcast. Geez, yeah, I'm a little bit tired. We did mention in the last one.
You're tired. It's like 2:00 in the afternoon for you.
Well, I know. Right, we wouldn't be reading out massive long books anymore. And then this was the week that everybody decided to write us a long book. Now, a couple of them I have cut right down, and I think during this actual podcast we'll probably read a few of them short, but a lot of them from the comments are very short. It was just the emails just seem to go on for a long time. So we'll see how we get on. Right. Who wants to start this week?
Jessiie, then me, then you. Let's keep a pattern.
Jessiie,
All
me,
right.
you. Right. Gotcha.
Daniel A. from the comment says, the terrific trio returns. I like that name.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
I'm happy with that. Thank you, Daniel.
TT.
Toretto, TT. That's his nickname. Right. Lori Lee, LOL question. How did you all meet? That's a question in comments.
I just pasted them in. You didn't expect me to put me in the right part, Jace. I'll take it out. We'll come to that one later. Jace.
Wow. Good job, Foxy. Good job there this morning.
So
And we're
try
the ones that just woke up.
And while you do that,
Okay.
I'll just try to read through them and see if there's any more questions.
Daniel A. On the touch control discussion, I recently discovered that my Android phone will connect to my Xbox controller over Bluetooth and run it perfectly for Minecraft. Hope that helps someone else out there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That'll be
most of them
useful,
do.
I'm sure, for a lot of people.
Yeah, most of them do. I use my old Xbox controller on my phone whenever. Well, I say whenever, that I haven't done it in like 2 years when I used to take people to the doctor. Right. Anyways,
Yeah.
Foxy, you're up.
Yeah, well, just going back on that, I mean, you can use pretty much any scabby old controller, even with USB in most phones. So, and it seems to work pretty well. So, yeah, I don't think it's a difficult thing to get a controller on a touchscreen device, but I know not everybody's got access to these things. Right, Lisa Lul versus John says, great episode. I love you three together. Made my day. Concise enough? Lol. Well, thank you, Lisa. That was very concise and very much appreciated. I'm glad you enjoy us all together.
Short and sweet.
Yeah. Speak for yourself, Jessiie. Right, Jessiie.
Dragon Rider. New dimension would be nice, but the end lacks luster, and bugs run wild in the existing game. I feel like they should make it all more solid first. Fix what you have, then move forward. Thanks, Slack. I appreciate you having my back.
No, that's a different one. That's the underscore person.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
that's
I thought it was just.
that's
You're
coffee.
stealing
That's
Jack's
coffee.
things now.
I'm sorry.
You
I'm
made-
sorry. I
You
thought it was
confused him
Gab.
about his week, and now he's
Wow.
stealing his feedback. I can't believe it.
Right?
Jeez.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna mute.
Right, who wants to start with that one then? New dimension would
Okay,
be nice,
so
but lacks end.
New dimension would be nice, but like now, I think we covered that last week. Yeah, new dimension would be cool.
Yeah, I know what they're saying though. Like the end is missing a lot, and it would be nice to have it. But if they just fixed everything, then we wouldn't have anything new. So everyone would moan, and
True.
we also moan when they fix things because they fiddle with stuff. I agree that they
fix
need
it
to fix a lot
wrong.
of bugs.
So a minor update too to that comment feedback there. I swear, after last week, we were talking, or not last week, week before last, we literally recorded the podcast. We're like, oh yeah, this should really be a new dimension thing. And I know the podcast came out like 3 days later, or whatever it was. But like the next day, everyone's like, oh yeah, there should be a new dimension. I'm just sitting here thinking, yep, we're going to look like we're.
No, it went
probably
out
late
like
to the.
the next day. We was on it.
Okay.
We was on it.
Okay.
Don't worry, we got that. Yeah.
Okay. So we were first, right?
No,
Okay,
I think pretty much everybody that saw or played in it was feeling the
Yeah.
same thing. So yeah, I mean it's got to be, hasn't it? But we'll get to that in the news. There is some news on that, believe it or not, this week.
Right. Well, the next comment here from your friend _, which is actually coffee. Love how you changed your tone when you found out it was coffee. Said, thanks, Slack. I appreciate you having my back. I'm glad to hear the feedback on the diamond idea. I just grind through tools and use villagers to repair it. And yes, Foxy, this is coffee. I just prefer to have no name. I've listened to every podcast and you guys just keep getting better.
If you like to have no name, then how are you coffee? That's all I'm going to say. You can't be both. You have to pick one, please. This is very confusing, and my brain don't cope with people having two names. It doesn't cope with people having one name. So,
Your friend next.
yeah. Right. Okay. Victim Born says, just driving in, listening, grinning. Ah, good.
Okay. Yeah.
You shouldn't be texting or writing comments to the podcast while you're driving, though, Vixen. I'm just saying.
Wait a minute. Yeah,
Not a
wait,
good idea.
whoa. They're just driving, listening, and grinning.
Probably don't want to
Apparently
admit
typing
that.
a message.
Safe driving, best driving. Rotated Owlface said, another highly enjoyable time with Fozzie, Shock Wizard, and Jenny.
Wow.
Shock Wizard.
So
Yeah, I'm fine with Shock Wizard. Don't correct that. That's great.
It says Sock Wizard.
No, it doesn't. It says Shock Wizard.
I'm done. I'm so done today. I'm just gonna.
What time is it for you, Jessie? Let everybody know.
Well, it's now 6:30, but
In the morning.
In the morning.
been sitting here. Oh yeah, sorry, 6:30 a.m. We've been up since 5, and I am dead.
See, poor Jessie. So she's allowed to be, not on it as much as
Yeah,
Slack. I mean, I'm not on it, so I don't have an excuse though. Right, Slack, what's Rainbow Time got to say?
Inspiring me to make my Minecraft series even better. Great video. It's a podcast, not a video. But anyways,
They
yeah.
watched it on
Thanks.
the podcast, on the video.
I don't know.
Just saying.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Good. Right. Sman Go
right.
Titans says, thank you. I have COVID, so I'm really sick, but I enjoyed listening to this.
Well, we wish you a speedy recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you're feeling better already. They also say, I've never even seen Jessiie B, but she sounds beautiful. Well, thank you. That's
Aw.
very kind of you.
Right, Slack.
Intrepid Tato?
Potato.
Another great podcast with
Slack short for potato.
What is that? What's that word?
What,
Another great
in the actual
podcast.
message? Another great podcast.
Yeah, the
with
comment. I don't know that word.
Kukla,
Yes.
Fran and Ollie. No
Fran and
idea.
Ollie. Is that a joke I'm missing?
I have no idea. It's gone over
Is
my
it a
They're
head.
just
cultural
saying-
thing?
What, we're saying our names wrong.
Well, they're saying them wrong and
But-
they're just giving us complete.
That's just random names, I feel like. Or either that or it's
Also-
reference to something none of us understand.
Jeez.
Also, Slack, what did Watchful ever do to you? Just
Huh? What?
skipped right over them.
What?
Did you? Which one are you reading, Jessie?
Where are you
Right
at?
here. The one that's like, I just read the Jessiie B one by Sman Go Titans, and then there's Watchful.
No, I think
then
you need to
there's
refresh
Intro.
that. I moved that into the questions
Oh my
because it's a
goodness.
question. It
What
should do
the
that
heck?
automatically, to be fair. Jeez.
Yeah, mine
did.
updated instantly.
Yeah.
I seen you remove it. Yeah.
Then why? Everything's broken.
We're having a good day today. Good. Jill Wright says combo mods on the marketplace sounds like packs that Vatenage puts together, mostly his mods, but sometimes bundled with other mods as well. He also puts a list of compatible mods in his post for mods that he can't, for various reasons, directly include. Oh, and by the way, Jill is short for Gilbert, so it's a hard G as in girl, not as in Jill. Oh, sorry, Jill. I didn't realise. Yeah, okay. So Gil is saying there that there's somebody that does great works with packs by the Sandstorms. That sounds like a lot of work, though. And it sounds like you need to know a lot of packs that exist and how they work. So, I mean, that's not something I would do because I'm focused on making my own packs, not looking at other people's to see if they're conflicting with mine. So maybe it would be good idea to have like a list that people can edit somewhere that says, oh, it doesn't work with this one, it doesn't work with that one. But I think you're just getting into a mountain of problems doing things like that. So that's great for them that they do that. It's not something that I would be interested in. It sounds like way too much effort.
Sounds like a lot of work. Yeah.
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 That's like going, okay, I'm a software developer. I now need to look at every other piece of software in the world to see if mine conflicts with it, and just not just look at them, but actually look into the code of how they work to do it. Nah.
Or
no,
like
don't have
I'm a
enough time in
content
the world
creator
for
and
that.
I want to build a complicated website.
Yeah. No. Yeah, shut up. Right. Anyway, Jessie.
Daniel A says, I'm curious what a new dimension.
You've missed
That-
out Redstone
no,
Diamond.
No, I haven't. It literally says, don't read on podcast.
okay.
The very first thing it
Well,
says.
delete it then. Jeez. Oh my goodness me.
Jeez, wow.
I'm reading.
Look at her.
God, my goodness.
Y'all coming after me. for
Should we start
reading.
again?
Yeah,
Hello
just
and
cut that
welcome
and
to it. Okay, let's carry on with Daniel A.
Oh my
We got
gosh.
this. How hard can it be?
Daniel A says, I'm curious what a new dimension would be like. There doesn't seem to be an obvious choice given the diversity of the overworld areas and the nether and end dimensions. Yeah, I think it would be something completely new, right?
Yeah, I mean, if the nether and the end didn't exist and they were on about new dimensions, you wouldn't have thought for a second that they would come up with either of those because they're so far out there and, you know, off the wall. I think I'm sure they're more than capable of developing something that none of us would be expecting. So I'm hopeful that it'll be something interesting and different. I'd also really like it if it was a flat world. I'd just like to be able to pop into a flat world. And
no, see what it's going to be is it's going to be a water world and you have to use a Riptide Trident.
Fired. No, I'm done. Right, who's next? Was it Slack, I think?
Philip with nice. I love it.
Good.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mick OG123 says, I didn't know Jessiie started on Hermitcraft.
Huh? What?
Huh? Oh, I started watching. Like, that's how I got into Minecraft, right? Like, that was the conversation we had, I think.
Such an ambiguous bit of feedback.
Right?
Jessiie started on Hermitcraft. I didn't know about this either. You got something to tell us, Jessiie.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Yeah, Jessiie started by watching Hermitcraft, so there we go.
Yeah.
Crikey, we've still got a lot.
Yeah.
Got pages of feedback.
Now we're getting into the book.
Okay.
We should maybe not have to read possibly all of it out because there's a lot there. Yeah. We'll do our best. See how we get on.
Who's up with George here?
Me. George says, comments on the offhand use for Bedrock. I personally feel like if Mojang is hung up on making it touch friendly isn't a valid reason to not add it for console and PC. Console and PC versions are $30 for a full game. Mobile gets a light compressed version for $7.50. You make sacrifices to play on compressed versions. Even hooking up a controller to my phone and play, it's clunky and not the same. That's a good point. Like you're paying for less, right? So using that as an excuse to not have parity just feels weird.
Yeah, I can get on board with that idea. That makes sense. If you're paying less than half the price of the actual full game, then yeah.
I mean, you're still technically getting the same game that'll do all the same things. You just need to get a controller or, Bluetooth, wireless,
which you could afford for the same price. If you was to, if you bought the mobile version and a controller, it'd still be cheaper than the full game.
Well, some people buy PS5s and they could get a PC. I'm just saying.
Yeah, fair enough. Right, Mastercrafter. Jen
says, Jen. No, Jen. I mean, Jessiie should be a co-host now. Pretty sure. Didn't we cover that she is?
Yeah, I think she's close to not being again. It carries on the way.
Right? She's getting sassy about this stuff.
I'm just gonna go back to sleep. Y'all can go from here. It's fine.
Jessiie hopefully is here today. Right. Who's next? Is it me?
Yeah, that's you. Yep, all you.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler, who has written many, many, many things today, if you go through all of the feedback and the questions, and who I have also already cut down substantially on a few things, but I will do my best to read out this one. Howdy, y'all. I'm a little late in saying this, but I'm so happy to hear that you're back, Slack. I pray for your recovery. I love this new dynamic with Jess, Slack, and Foxy. It feels a lot better having Jess with you, Foxy, and Slack. So I wanted to say that I love the show even more with Jess, or should I say Jenny? Joke. I also wanted to say that even though I'm technically a modder for Java, I've made a data pack and a few resource packs. I'll make an actual mod later down the road. I also like Java more than Bedrock because the mechanics are a whole lot better and things make more sense. I will also say that I do agree with the three of you were talking about when Minecraft shoves the marketplace down your throat pretty much. If I'm going to play a paid game, I don't want ads of any kind. Foxy cut this very long book short. I did indeed. I put that note there because there was about 3 more paragraphs in the email. So sorry, Tyler, but I think that was pretty much everything you needed to say with that one.
That argument. What? The mechanics make a whole lot make better and make more sense. No, it's just different. If Bedrock was all there was, then they would make sense to you. It's
just which one you've had more experience with, I guess, or that you've seen more.
Yeah. Yep. I was going to say Java has been around longer, it feels like. And so people got used to spending time with it. And so it's just what they're used to. I don't think that it's better or worse. It's just, it's what you know.
I can name 3 things right off the top of my head that makes no sense on Java. Why can't you cut off your elytra mid-flight? Why can't you bone meal small flowers? And why can't you bone meal sugarcane?
And why does that stupid piston popping off redstone thingy? Oh my goodness me! Yeah, I would argue that the Java edition redstone, as much as everybody considers it's the main way to do redstone, it doesn't make any sense. When I used to play on Java edition, I used to have a much more of a headache actually designing things with redstone because of things like the piston spitty outy block thing and the quasi connectivity, which when you're trying to work on something and you can't understand, well, that's logically that looks like that and that should do that, but there's something not right here and you don't understand quasi connectivity. What's that? Unless you've watched something about it or read something about it, you don't know, and it's just very confusing. So Bedrock doesn't have any of that, and it makes sense. If a sticky piston pulls back a block, it sticks to it and pulls back the block. And if you've got a redstone block there or something that's powering something, it's not going to power something that's a few blocks away. So I would say that makes more sense in general. But yeah, I pretty much agree that whichever one you've had the most experience with, you're going to be more comfortable with. So it's going to feel like it makes more sense to you.
Yep, I agree. Mm-hmm.
Victim says, have you considered adding a Guardian Farm template to your armor stand add-on? Seems it would save you and others time and effort every season.
Yeah, that's not necessarily a bad idea, but I don't know, and I don't know if I can be bothered to go around enough Guardian farms to test it. If there's the exact same distances between the spots on every single world, I think it probably is. But I wouldn't want to, because I know they can be like in different orientations, and I wouldn't want to, get it wrong.
Yeah, somebody just did that, and yeah, it works.
Oh, did they? Oh, is a Mad Hatter's done one, has he?
Yeah, he literally made a thing that you put an armor stand down, you put, I can't remember what item it is, and it's hand in it. As long as you put it in the center chunk, it shows you all the spawn spots.
Oh, okay, well, there you go.
So doable.
Don't need to.
Doable.
Someone already done it. Right, okay.
All right, Victim here. Victim is always sending lots of feedback. I'm just saying.
I like it. Keep it coming.
We like it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm extremely regretful for your recent illness. There was a crack in the cauldron. It had nothing to do with you raising my rent and was totally accidental. Your favorite 50 block. Which P.S. This is CDC needs to know nothing about this, and I'll deny everything.
Does that make any sense to anyone?
What's Victim have to say in the next one?
Jessie?
It's you, buddy.
Oh, is it? I can't remember. It's very welcoming to have your voice and opinion on the show. Oh, I remember. These are all like posted to us individually, but for some reason it's not got the thing on. So yeah, this was to Jessie. It's very welcoming having your voice and opinion on the show. You are easy on the ears and offer alternative thoughts without being confirmational. Thank you for making a great show even better. So yeah, the last one was to you, Slack. I guess the first one was for me. So, or it could have been for Mad Hatter, and he's already done it. Who knows? Right.
Okay, so that was okay. Okay, so at least I got the witch hat one right. Okay. Anyways, you're confused,
right? David says, hello, today's podcast hosts. I just wanted to reach out and say that I am very much enjoying the podcast. You all are very insightful about the worlds of Minecraft and content creating. I'm finding my work days going by faster listening to your show. I work 4 10-hour shifts weekly, so I end up listening to 4.5 episodes every day. If you could turn your output up to 16 episodes per week, that would be great. Thanks a lot, David.
We will do our best. I can't guarantee anything, but I'll have a word with the guys and see what we can do. Jeez.
That's how many is that a day? That's
well, we've all got plenty of free time on our hands, so I can't see why it would be a problem.
I mean, especially you're not recording content. I mean,
not doing anything. Yeah, just making my website. Right. What's Tyler have to say?
Tyler says, "Howdy, everyone. I notice at the ending of the podcast, in some episodes, it repeats itself. It normally starts just before the intro outro song starts and repeats everything after that. Not sure if you three knew this already, and if not, just wanted to let y'all know. Love the show. Keep up the great work. Love having Jessiie on the show. Yeah, I love it. You know what I've not seen, Foxy, is no one ever say, "Hey, thanks for being on the show, Foxy."
No, well,
it's like, "Hey, Slack, it's good you're back." Hey,
fine.
Jessiie, I absolutely love you. No one's ever saying, "Thank you, Foxy, for being here."
Yeah, glad you're on this show, Foxy. Yeah, I know. I'm slightly concerned, though, that they're finding that the podcast is repeating itself near the end. I would be interested to know, Tyler, what device and system you're listening it through. So are you watching it on YouTube? Are you listening to it through Spotify or Apple Music or Google Music? Are you using an app? Because I listen to them most of the time and I don't hear that and I don't have that. But I listen to them on my app called Pocket Casts. So I don't know.
Oh, that's right. You get the next one. You get Bo here.
Can I get another long one? Oh God.
Yeah.
Bo, good day. I'm so glad I found your podcast. My girlfriend and I started playing couch co-op on PS4 when we moved in together at the start of the pandemic. She stumbled into Hermitcraft one day while scrolling through YouTube and we were hooked. I wish we'd found Truly Bedrock at the same time because we would have had much less frustrating redstone builds. We eventually found Silent Whisper, and only recently, after starting a realm to include my daughter and sister in our games, did I start to incorporate Foxy's mod packs to make life so much better. I realised we hadn't really looked at any of the other TB members, and we've been adding other members' channels to our nightly YouTube routine. Who needs cable TV when there's this much good content out there? All the best, you three. I listen to the podcast on my way to and from work and greatly enjoy the dynamic you have on the podcast and appreciate the effort you and the other TV members are putting out to keep us entertained. Thanks, Bo. I appreciate that, Bo. Glad we can help.
No. See, this is the kind of book I don't mind. This was like, this made my heart happy. I'm glad that they're so happy with what we're putting out there and that it's also helpful. Sorry about the books.
Bad out to Slack. More Tyler.
No, it's
Jessiie. Oh my goodness me. One day I'll learn this. I need to write it down, don't I?
Foxy, Jessiie, Slack.
I think in the next one, I'm just going to actually write on the form who's going to read which one, and then there'll be no arguments.
Done.
I'll get all the short ones because I fumble with my words.
Yeah, I'll get the long ones. Jessiie the medium ones. And Slack can have all the itty bitty ones. Right.
Tyler, one last thing. I wanted to say that the most annoying mob for me has to be the skeleton. Next is a creeper. There was a cave I was exploring in Java. I died and couldn't get my stuff back because creepers blew it all up. There was seemingly an endless amount of creepers. Like it seemed like there was a spawner there.
That's Java?
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there before on Java Edition in particular. In fact, that reminds me of something. It wasn't creepers, it was zombies. But very early on in my Bedrock Edition escapades, back on my first Bedrock Survival world, I ran into a zombie spawner, but I didn't know I was at a zombie spawner. I just kept going into this cave, and there were literally hordes of zombies. There was so many, and I kept dying. And this was Bedrock Edition. You wouldn't expect it on Bedrock Edition, but something was clearly broken. This spawner was chugging out zombies left, right, and center. It was ridiculous, and I ended up incorporating that spawner into my base, and it, for whatever reason, worked so much faster than any other spawner on the world. And people would come, when I opened it up onto my patrons, they would come to my one because it was just only a single spawner, but it would spawn zombies faster than you could kill them. So it was crazy. I don't know what was wrong with it. It was back in Minecraft Bedrock Edition 1.2 when I found it. So there was either a bug or that's just how they were back there. But that was great fun.
Interesting.
If only we could get the same things these days.
Everything's fine?
Good. Right. Who's next?
Well, technically it's me, but Lucas here also has questions. Does this belong here?
Oh my goodness me. Right. I'm moving it. Get out of it, Lucas, with your sneaky hidden questions. Who do you think you are, sneaking it into this feed? Oh my goodness me. Right. There you go. It's now at the bottom of the question section.
Eddie Legend over here says, I love the podcast. It gives me something to listen to while I'm playing Minecraft and keeps me up to date with all the bugs and changes that are coming when I don't have time to keep up with the change logs and bug trackers. I know I've said it before, but thank you for taking the time to make this for the community.
You're very
right in the
welcome.
feels right there, right?
Ooh,
right in the feels.
welcome.
Nice, warm, fuzzy feeling. I think I have a little bit of coffee to go down with that.
Wow.
I'm out of coffee.
I'm out of coffee. Need more coffee.
Aw.
Need coffee break. Not Scotch, I have to say, Jessie.
No, it's you.
No, it's me.
You see, I was right this time.
No, it's not. No, after
Yeah.
me, it's Foxy.
Jessie, me and you said.
No, not me and you. Me and you. Not you and me and you.
Fine.
Well,
I've been loving
fuck's
your
sakes,
concept
I'm
for some time. The podcast's brilliant. What are the team's view on adding a filter option on a hopper? What's the team's... Oh my goodness, the question. What's the team's view on adding a filter option to a hopper? I would love to have put filters on hoppers, but it does kind of makes the game less creative, I guess. You have to do...
Isn't that what Redstone's for, to already do that?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like on modded, where you can just you get this filter item and you tell it which items that you want to allow through the hopper and which ones you don't, and you put it in there, and it just means you can, you don't need to build.
If that's what you want. It's not in vanilla.
Okay, well, Slack's view is no, mine is meh, and Jessie's is I have no idea.
Meh.
Meh.
Yeah, just
Okay.
sure.
Right, Jessie, would you like to read the last piece of feedback?
Yeah.
Please, eventually.
Here's one for the podcast, but it might take a little research. This Friday, for March 4th, was the official release date for the Minecraft movie, before it was quietly swept under the carpet along with the super duper graphics and other similar abandoned projects.
Yeah.
What?
Did you know this? If you go to the tweet, I'm just looking at it now. I saw this pop up, and that's tomorrow as we're recording this. Hopefully, the day that this podcast actually comes out, if I manage to get it edited. And it says dates. This is from the official Minecraft account. They are important because they allow us to clear our calendars for exciting, nay, monumental events such as the upcoming Minecraft movie, which finally has one. March the 4th, 2022, just around the corner. A few more details here. And that was posted in the April the 16th, 2019. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then you click the link and it says, sorry, this doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
It's in the
Isn't that
bin
what
with
story mode
archaeology.
And that what story mode was like a fancy movie for Minecraft.
Was it?
I don't think so.
I
I played. No, I didn't play story mode. I watched people play story mode. I watched Stampy Longnose play story mode, and yeah. Well, peeps, that's it from the feedback. If you would like to leave us feedback, please do at theminecraftupdatepod@gmail.com. And if you're feeling kind, please keep it short because we clearly can't read. Right. Anyway, moving on from the feedback to the news section. But however, before we do go into the news section, I am just going to take a moment to fill up my glass of water, and I'll be with you guys in just 1 second.
Oh, so this is drink break, right?
Yeah,
drink
quick
break.
drink break. Yeah.
okay.
Got your shoes. Well, he's gonna be quicker than me because I'm slow. You entertain the people, Jessie. You got this.
I got this. Do 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 do. Dance break. It's 6:30 a.m. Oh, I'm so tired.
Right. Okay. Are you back? Are you both back?
Mhm.
Yeah. No, well, oh, Jessie left too. I thought I left you here to entertain the people. Wow.
I did entertain the people. I didn't leave.
Okay. Was you quiet? You didn't sing though, did you? Jeez.
I did sing.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Oh.
there's a piece in my thing that's me just like doing a retard, like just a.
I can't wait to hear that back. When I do the edit. Brilliant. Fantastic.
Jessie done elevator music.
It was. I was like, do 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 do. Yeah, it's bad. I'm
Good.
tired.
That's gonna be the official intro music.
Oh no.
Right, okay. On with the news. So this week, we do have a reasonable amount of news. We've got a couple of things to discuss, but there's not tons and tons and tons, considering we haven't done a podcast for a couple of weeks, and there's all of this crazy stuff with 1.19 and wild updates and stuff going on. But I guess the main ones that we want to look at are the fact that the beta preview 1.18.20.29 or 0.30, depending on which system you're on, was released last week, which fixed a bug where paintings could not be placed on a variety of blocks. Mobs can once again pathfind through doors with a partial block leading to them, and it fixed several crashes that could occur during gameplay. So not much there at all. I would imagine we're probably going to be getting that actually released to Minecraft relatively soon. And any thoughts on that, peeps?
No, I actually seen Silent's video on the painting thing, and it's really interesting. Like, you could literally put paintings on pretty much any block now. Pretty nice.
Wow. Okay.
I didn't know that.
Well, that's good, because they took it was a feedback, a news piece a couple of weeks ago, or a few weeks ago, when you were ill, when it said that they'd stopped paintings from being able to put on a load of blocks. So they maybe reverted it. I don't know. Or maybe they broke it when they did that and they fixed it again. Who knows?
I'm pretty sure I seen the video. I'm pretty sure it was last week, and he was talking about the parity change or the beta, and he went through a list of like everything, like enchanting tables, like everything. You can put them on like anything now.
Oh, nice. Well, that should hopefully help us be a bit more creative. It'd be nice if we could put them like laid down, like you can item frames, so you could have them on your like your ceiling or your floor and do more interesting things that way. But I'll stick to just more blocks. That's good.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay, so moving on from that, Minecraft Java 1.18.2 has finally been released. There is 94 player-reported bugs have been fixed, which we're not going to cover because that's in a separate link, which I will put in the show notes. But a few things to note was that they have said, a warning to players, they are coming to an end of supporting 32-bit devices. So unless you're on a 64-bit machine, you're not going to be able to run Minecraft for much longer. South Korea has had an interesting system basically put in place on Minecraft where it will pop up regularly every time. Well, if they've been playing the game for a little while, it will tell them to, think about taking a break, which seems to me a little bit intrusive, but I'm guessing it's probably following government guidelines from South Korea, I guess. The seed number 0 is no longer handled as a special case, whatever that means. Spaces in seeds will now be trimmed. So if you wrote your seed number and put a space at the end, you would get a different seed before than what you would get if you wrote it in without a space at the end, which will help a lot of people that copy and paste stuff. Dolphins will now pick the closest available structure regardless of type, and ender chests will no longer be gift wrapped around Christmas, which obviously we don't get that on Bedrock Edition, but that's sad news for Java Edition. Less presents at Christmas. Slack's pulling a confused face.
I'm confused over the dolphins pick the closest structure.
I think before the dolphin, when you this is a Java Edition mechanic. We don't have it on Bedrock, but a dolphin when you feed it, it will take you to the closest treasure chest.
Oh my god, I forgot that was a thing.
Wow. Yeah, and they used to go to like ones miles away rather than the closest one. So that now they'll go to the closest one.
I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah, it's pretty useful on Java.
Yeah. On Java. They also got the place feature command, which we have mentioned recently, and the custom structures in experimental data packs. They've also got a lot of cave generation now configurable through experimental data packs, in addition to crashes and other... Oh, no, I've already read that bit. Lots of bugs been fixed. Nearly 100. So good news for Minecraft Java Edition there. Right, moving from the updates to some things that have been put out on Twitter from Jasper and KingBdogz again. Jasper has thrown up a video and some pictures of a work in progress of the mangrove biome, or the swamp biome, with mangrove trees, the mud blocks, and some roots and things. And I think it looks really, really interesting. There's one thing in particular that stands out to me that I'm very excited about. What have either of you guys got anything to say about that?
I don't like the weird gray mud. The texture on it, it's real weird, and I think that it's strange. I like the trees. The trees look cool, and I like the roots. Those are interesting. So I can't wait to see that in game. But I keep getting really put off by the strange looking gray mud.
I don't like the mud. I'm looking at the video now. I don't like the mud.
No.
And I feel like the trees are, I feel like that's something I did on my witch hut like 2 seasons ago.
The leaves of the mango trees are quite interesting as well. The whole textures all look like very elongated and stretched, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
But
there's also, I don't know if you see it. I guess that's what are they called? What are they called? Mango trees?
Yeah,
Mangrove.
There's something hanging off of them. Like
I can't remember the word for them. They've got a really weird word. They talked about those at the Minecon.
It's the pods, right? It's the new version of their sapling.
Yeah. That will drop off and as a sapling, and you can plant it rather than the saplings just dropping from the leaves. So it's an interesting way of doing trees.
It looks like it glows.
It could do, I guess. But the thing that I like the most is if you look at the pictures, you can see that there's a new, what looks like the skulk block. No, the skulk carpet layer thing, but brown, which means that if we was to put that on stone or cobblestone or like other types of pathwork, that's going to make some really interesting transitions between like dirt and it'll look like muddy stone.
Where do you see that?
So just below the video, there's another one on mine that just has some stills, and the first one at the bottom of the roots, you can see there's these like tiles on top of them. Yeah, but it's not the root block because you can see the mud underneath it. So it's like a root carpet.
That's interesting.
Okay, like if the mud was like maybe just a block or two around the water and in the water, I'd be fine with it. But just massive areas of it, it just immediately reminds me of mycelium. And if we have swamps looking like that all over the place, it's just going to
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can say.
Yeah.
I think it is too much to have all over, but they did say this is very much work in progress. So they're just probably just testing it out for now.
Well, let's let them know that it's way too much.
Okay. The next piece of news is from KingBdogz again on Twitter. And this one for me is particularly interesting because he talks about his tier list. Do you guys know what a tier list?
Yeah, it's where you would rank things. It's usually like what S, A, like they just have like basically best to worst kind of thing, right?
Yeah, so S is like super, I guess, and then you've got A, B, D, and then E. Apparently, there's no C on his list, which is interesting. Maybe that's intentional. I don't know. But basically, it's his tier list for the new Deep Dark stuff and the Warden. And in his S tier, he's got the Skulk Catalyst, the Skulk Veins, the Skulk and Reinforced Deep Slate, interestingly. The A tier has Skulk Sensors and Swift Sneak. The B tier, the Warden, the Shulk Shrieker and Ancient Cities. The D tier, the Deep Dark Biome as a whole. And the E tier is the Ancient Cities loot. Interesting for me that he's put the Swift Sneak as the A tier because that's above the Warden. So he obviously thinks Swift Sneak's more interested in the Warden. But the thing that stands out the most to me is, of course, the Reinforced Deep Slate being in the S tier. Further adding to our, thoughts that there is more to that block. He could just be trolling us, I guess, but I don't think so.
Well, yeah, if you scroll down, he elaborates.
Yeah, he does. He goes on to say, ancient cities are really immersive, but have some big problems with aquifers and biome collisions that very much destroy the experience. Deep Dark biome placement is really not tuned well and could probably use some tweaking on loot in ancient cities. Just isn't worth the risk of encountering Wardens right now. As always, these are just my honest thoughts and opinions, and not everyone will agree. It's also possible we won't get to addressing all of these issues, but will be doing my best to do what I can. I should clarify on this list, a feature being D tier, somehow low tier, doesn't mean it's not a good feature. My ratings were based on the following idea. What is the design trying to do and how well it is achieved using that design? Warden's a B tier in this list, but in terms of experience, it's really more like S tier in my opinion. It's a great feature, just needs a little bit more tweaking to make it achieve what its design intent is. We as a team are going to tackle these issues when we can. And I thought that last line was really interesting because, well, in fact, that whole thing read like we've finished and it's unlikely we'll be able to change much. Did anyone else get that?
That's exactly how that read. And I was just like,
That's how it comes off to me too, which makes me wonder, is what we're seeing in the testing what we're going to get?
Well, yeah, because I mean, they were all, when they put out that experimental snapshot, they were very much, this is experimental, this is for community feedback, we want to hear from you. Were they just expecting everyone to just tell them it was perfect and that they wouldn't have to change it? Because now that we've had the feedback, and he's even sort of admitted himself there in his own tier list and explanation that things aren't the way, the ancient cities don't work well because they collide with, they interfere with things, and the Warden doesn't do what it's supposed to do. And then goes, well, we'll tackle these issues when we can. Well, doesn't seem like it's very high on the priority list.
Yeah. I mean, y'all should have several months to keep working on the update.
Yeah. So does that mean that the next update 1.19 is coming sooner than we expected? Do you think that means we're going to be getting that earlier and they've just not got time to do anything for that now? Or do you think that means that there's just other things going on that they've got to focus on? Or are we just reading too much into it, do you think?
I feel like they are putting a lot of their resources elsewhere. If I'm being honest, I mean, they've been working on this for so long. I think that's the real thing is they're just done with this project. And when it comes out, they'll probably tweak things when they get a vaster pool of like input, just like they do with normal things when things get fixed. But I do feel like they're moving on. Like this is kind of what we're getting. So I hope I'm wrong, because I'll be sad if I can literally just pillar up and kill a Warden.
Yeah, it sounds a little bit like he's been defeated in that it's like, oh, I was so excited about this and now I'm just deflated. So, forget it. This is just how it's going to be from now on. I can't imagine that's the attitude going around the offices. I'm sure there must be something else going on here. But yeah, it was a little bit of, when I read through it, it was a bit disappointing to read, I've got to admit. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah. You're supposed to be encouraging us to like this, not making us feel more sad.
I guess if you spent 2 years really hyping something up and really excited about it, and you release it and it gets a lukewarm reception, as we talked about on the last podcast, the reason we weren't jumping up and down with excitement is because we've known about it all. There's nothing new or interesting there. It's not that it wasn't a good thing, but that's the reaction Hill had been getting. So he probably is feeling a little bit depressed and a little bit deflated. That's the reaction he's got.
That's like some companies that put out movie trailers and they give you all the best scenes in the trailer, and then when you watch the movie, you're like, I already seen all this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or worse, when they tell you like in the trailer, and they're like, "Ooh, this happens," and you watch the movie and it's not there.
Yeah.
Like, but no, in the trailer, I saw this scene. Where did that go?
Oh, you mean like clickbaity stuff? Like somebody put something on the thumbnail that makes no sense. And you're like, I got to click this just to see that. And you watch the whole video and it never exists.
Yeah,
I never do that. Right. I had something to say on that then. It keeps going in and out of my head and I can't think what it was. Oh, yeah, there we go. My concern is if Jessie's right and they decide to come back to this once it's been released into 1.19, is that we will have a massive disparity again like we had on Bedrock for villagers. So do you remember when the Village and Pillage update came out and they were supposed to be with parity with each other, but a lot of changes happened to the villagers and the pillagers during the snapshots for Java Edition that didn't go through to Bedrock Edition, and we ended up with a much, still to this day, very subpar version of the Village and Pillage mechanics. I don't want the Warden to go through the same thing because it's easy for the Java developers to just make changes on a whim for the snapshots, whereas the Bedrock Edition team are not necessarily going to get the notes or have the time to do it. So that's it's a slight worry, but let's hope that we're all completely wrong about this and it's going to be absolutely fantastic, different to how it is now when it comes out.
See, why'd you say that? Now I'm nervous because like they had the Village and Pillage and they changed how iron farms and villagers worked, and we got nothing the same. Two different versions. Look, come on now. And this has been like 3 years later. Come on, y'all can get your stuff together and get a little bit more parity when you release something. I mean, you got the developers, literally the Java people learning C++ to do this. Don't have disparity here. Just don't.
What if they turn around and they go, right, okay, on Java Edition, we've added in a new dimension, but we haven't got the technology to do that.
You don't even
on
say that.
Bedrock
Fired.
Edition. Done.
You figured they would do just the opposite, though. They would give the new dimension to Bedrock and not Java if they were really trying to force people to one version of the game. Oh, let's give it to Java. They got everything.
Right, okay. The next piece of news is an actual news article that I thought I would include in today's podcast. And this is completely irrelevant, really, but I thought I'd add it in anyway. And that is that Minecraft Amibos are delayed due to logistics and production issues. So basically, if you own a Nintendo Switch and you like playing Super Smash Brothers, you might be interested in getting Amibos for your characters. I don't know if either of you have ever had an Amiibo or if you know what one is. I've never seen one in my life, but apparently, sadly, Steve and Alex are very much delayed till later in 2022 due to logistics and production. So sad news. Any idea what that even means?
No.
No.
I have no idea.
I feel like I need to Google what this is because I have no clue what this is.
Well, if you click on the link and you scroll down for all of the viewers at home, you'll see the little characters that you put it on your Nintendo Switch and it switches to that character. Or so, I don't know. I have no idea really what it. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
The other piece of news that I've added into this is not a news article as such, but in case you're interested in hearing what the actual developers of the game have to say, Sliced Lime was on the Spawn Chunks podcast last week, and it was a very, very interesting podcast. It was mainly to do with Sliced Lime, how he got into development and what he's doing with Minecraft, and there were some interesting sneak peeks and tidbits in there about how the development of Minecraft works, but there weren't any sneak peeks that I could see or what I heard coming for what we didn't already know of development. But it was a really interesting podcast, so definitely would recommend checking that out if you're interested in those things. Right, have either of you got any news to add in?
Nope.
No, not official news. No.
In that case, it's time to move on to the Bugdate, and I believe Jessiie B has actually got something interesting to talk about this week.
I do. So I was asking my Discord, hey, is there anything you guys would like us to talk about on the podcast? Like what's going down? And Zeta, who I do believe is in most of our communities, was talking about playing on the Minecraft preview. And so they gave me a few bugs to look at, and the gist of it is in the Minecraft preview, things are not really parroting like they have said they are. So we talked about it, I think, last podcast, maybe before, that they were making parody for saturation when you eat, for when you are eating, you get regeneration quicker like you do on Java. And apparently that is not the case. It's really slow still and not on par. And I've had a few people talk to me about that one. And I thought that was really interesting because I feel like that's a feature or an update that I've heard being talked about a lot. Like people are really happy that we're getting parody with stuff that are such a, what is the word? Like a base level thing, like saturation and regen should really be the same on both versions, but they're completely different. And so the fact that they've been talking about it so much and it just not being the same is interesting to me.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, which actually I think Slack is going to talk about more, structures are not the same in the preview as they are in Java. So when we have that parody of the seeds, right? When we're supposed to have structures the same for Java and Bedrock, but we're also supposed to have them for features like the biomes are supposed to look similar and stuff. And apparently that's still not working at all. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? You would think with them, they were quite sort of well, they really did strongly suggest that Minecon and since then on the developer diaries thing that if you put the same seed in one, you're going to get the same world as you do on the other. And it sounds very much like they think that's how it happens. And I think this is probably another case of on like a very, very slim, like thin basis, it kind of does. But if you actually look deeply at it, it clearly doesn't. And it's probably just a lack of communication around the offices or just a lack of awareness at Mojang to the people who, I mean, it's always the Java Edition team that's on the dev diaries and that do the Minecraft live stuff, and they're just probably not aware how big the parity differences are. Probably, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about that, but it does seem very much like they think that one's ticked off, and clearly they're not. So let's hope that we get a little bit more parity there, because you're right, we should be able to load up the same seed in both worlds and find the same things in the same places. That makes total sense. And the fact that like the Nether is still completely random between versions is, I don't know. Yeah, it'd be nice for those things to fall in line.
Yeah.
Slack, speaking of structures.
Oh, dear God. What the bug, the basics of it. Okay, so you remember when the 1.18 came out that pretty much all structure spawns were broke. You didn't get witch huts, you didn't get this, you didn't get temples. None of those things worked correctly. Well, one of the hot fixes brought that back where they worked again. So you could create a new world like I did here recently. And you go into creative and /locate temple, and you would go there and there would be either a temple or a witch hut, depending on the biome, it would be correct. The most recent update, the one that we're going to be updating TB to, has broke that once again. So for any new generated chunks or new worlds created, you're not getting no temples, which includes anything from witch huts to desert temples to igloos. You can type in the command, it'll tell you it's there. You go there and there's absolutely nothing. Good talk.
Yeah, it's not ideal, is it? So,
No.
So you're saying that they were broken in 1.18 when that rolled out, fixed in what, 1.18.2?
Yep.
And then now in 1.18.10 and 1.18.12, they're broken again.
Yep.
Now, still, like you just mentioned, at this point on Truly Bedrock, we still haven't updated to 1.18.10 or 12. We were going to. I was actually supposed to do that yesterday, but I never got around to it. I still haven't got around to doing it today. And the more I hear about it, the more I'm put off, because the thing that I don't want to move across for is what I was being told about in my live stream yesterday, and that is that slab placement is completely and utterly broken on 1.18.12, which means you can no longer walk or run and place slabs in a line, and you struggle to place them like in line with each other as bottom slabs and top slabs. You have to click every single individual slab into place.
Have you tried this? Have you confirmed this?
No, I haven't. Okay. But there was a lot of people saying it was true.
I'm loading up the game to check this while we're doing the podcast.
Don't do it.
No, I'm doing it because I have a server updated. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want to see this.
So, yeah, that's that. I mean, I've got a lot of slabbing to do with the farm that I'm currently working on, which is very irritating to hear that if we update, it's going to be broken. But like slabs in general, on and off for a long time on Bedrock, there just doesn't seem to be able to catch a break. We get so many times where there'll just be something not working with them, like creepers just spawning on top slabs or bottom slabs not placing properly. I mean, I remember this bug again, exactly this of what we're saying now was in Minecraft like 1.4 or 1.5 or something like that. Again, right in my old world, because I remember I built a big underground area and decided to slab the ceiling in order to get the light shining through. No. And it was a nightmare.
Oh, this is so broken. Oh no.
Look at Slack's face.
No. Oh my God. Oh, it's broke. You got to click everyone. Oh no.
Nope.
No. The no cat. No.
Okay.
No.
I don't think we need to update TV right now.
No.
Oh, that's so broken. What? No, it's weird. It's huh?
Yeah,
Can you, without just making noises, try and explain it for the listeners? Slack.
Okay, so you would go to, like, say you grab some normal. Here, I will grab some normal blocks and I will go to place them. So I place a block down, I right click, and I keep holding right click, and I keep placing blocks as I go left or right. Okay, so now I grab a slab. I place a slab. I hold right click and I move, and nothing. Nothing. So I right click again and I go to move. Nothing. But if I keep holding right click, like it'll place the slab up above it, and then it'll place a slab beside it, but not in the direction I'm looking. Like using scaffolding on Java.
Nope.
Fantastic. Brilliant. How did they do it? How? Why? What button did they press this time?
What? This makes no sense. This is horrible.
What was wrong with slabs? Why are you even fiddling with them? I know they did that weird thing where they would drop down half a block if you were running across chunk borders when you were doing it, but we got used to that. That's preferable to them just not being working at all.
All right, so if that was me placing it on the ground. If I place you sideways, no. What? Okay, so you know how you do the whole placing the slab against the slab and you start running to try to place more and then it messes up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now when I do that and I'm looking at the side, I place it on the side, it places it up above it. I'm making it place. Oh, why is it doing this? Okay, I'm trying to. All right, so I'm placing slabs up above me in a line. I'm placing the bottom slab. When I keep holding right click and walking backwards, it places the slab on top of it and makes it a full block. And then when I walk backwards, it places the bottom slab, then the top slab, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, top. It'll make a full block, but I can't place just a row of slabs.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Oh, this is good news. Excellent. And for more interesting bits on slab placement, make sure to be watching my videos over the next couple of weeks after it's updated, because I'm sure there'll be smoke coming out of my ears. Right. Oh, jeez. Moving on from the Bugdate to the Q&A section. We got some more books, peeps. We got 4 pages of books. This is good news. And this time I'm going to write on quickly as you guys start. You can start with Laurie, Slack. Jessiie, you can do Watchful, and I'll write who's going to do each one so there's no confusion, okay?
Okay. So I get the nice easy one.
Yeah.
Okay. Laurie here. LOL. Question. How did you all meet? You know, I met Jessiie via TB, wasn't it? Did we meet?
Yeah.
No, you did. No.
Yes.
I met you before. No, you were doing the truly Bedrock, like rundown thing, wasn't it?
Well, isn't that an extension of TB?
Wow.
No, because it didn't last.
Wow.
Jeez.
That's fine.
Well, somebody raged and deleted the whole thing, so it really doesn't exist. I'm just saying.
A lot of editing to do this week.
Truth hurts. And I met Foxy. I mean, if we're going down Truth Road, then I met Foxy via videos, but me and him didn't start talking till the whole Broke Rock breakup escapade happened.
Okay, let's get back on track with
Jessiie, what's Watchful have to say? No, wait a minute. No, y'all got to say how. Yeah, sorry, that was my point of view. Mm-hmm.
I think the first time I ever remember talking to Slack was just in the Discord. Like, just in the Discord. But I guess, first time I met you was probably season 1 then. Foxy, I think the first time we ever talked, actually, the first time me and Foxy ever talked was in comments. He responded back to me and I totally fangirled and it was ridiculous.
Did he argue with you?
Did I tell you were wrong like I did with Slack?
No.
Wrong.
You told me, you were like, thank you for the genuine and I was like, whatever, yes.
Oh, that's a filler response then. He doesn't be nice to people.
Hey, it was nice and I appreciated it.
I'm very nice in my comments to most people, apart from when they're wrong. In which case,
I wasn't wrong. I was completely right. You were just bullshitting.
Okay, well, I think you both covered when we met each other. Okay, moving on.
Watchful. If there's a new dimension planned for Minecraft, I feel. Wait, didn't I read that? Wait, I feel it will more likely that Mojang will push that into an update after the wild update. As much as I would feel that is a poor decision. Interesting. So, does that mean that Watchful doesn't think that those reinforced blocks are for a portal then? I wonder what.
Oh, go on.
Well, no, if they're not for a portal, I wonder what they would be for.
Well, yeah,
interesting.
That is interesting because I mean, KingBdogz just keeps saying that they do what they intend to do well. You know,
Yeah.
Reinforced Deep Slate adds a lot of mystery and does its job well. So, what is its job? We're all assuming Portal. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's something else. I don't know. Maybe it already does it and no one's actually figured it out yet. So.
I mean, that'd be the equivalent of saying, why doesn't Crying Obsidian do something special?
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't know. Maybe it's just trolling us. It does its job well. Its job is to not be broken, I guess. I don't know. Who knows?
Maybe.
But yeah, I do get the feeling like it could be something that gets pushed into the next update. But like we were saying last week, we've had 2 years of working on this. They can't have just been making a Warden, you know?
Yeah.
So...
Especially if that's what we got in the test.
Yeah, which is exactly what was in the preview we watched at Mojang live like 2 years ago. Right. Okay, it's me. Unless you got anything to say about that, Slack. No. Okay. Kitsune says, I heard you guys were accepting books. Here's mine. Thank you, Jessiie. Thank you, Slack. Thank you, Foxy. Love you all and really appreciate the effort you put in for the community. Question. Do you think it would be a good idea to be able to reset your achievements? I personally like having a special pop-up that says, I've achieved something.
I wish it was world-based instead of account-based. But
yeah. I really like... I like how Java does it. You have like the advancements and then you can just do each one in each game. I like that. But saying that, I also like that I can go onto my Xbox and be like, ooh, I have all of these like ones that I've done, which is, I don't know.
See what
I guess I'm indecisive.
We need to get this person we know that likes to make add-ons out there to make an advancement pack.
I would love to do that. And I'm sure there's probably ways of like doing a not very good way of doing it. But in order to do it properly, there needs to be a lot more, like, we don't have scoreboard triggers yet in Bedrock Edition, which is what basically triggers the achievements to be done. Now, they obviously exist somewhere within Bedrock because that's what they use to actually trigger the actual achievements, but we don't have any access to things like that. And it is a shame that we can't make custom ones like they can on Java Edition. I think making your own custom advancements is really fun, and it's something I had a lot of fun with on a few Java servers ago. So yeah, I'd love it to be more like Java and be per world. And I'd like the option to be able to turn them on and off. Like, even if you've got add-ons on your world, let us just turn them on anyway. For me, I don't get anything from having G points or whatever they're called on Xbox. I couldn't care less what achievements I've had or how far I got through a particular game. If I'm playing a game like Spider-Man on PS4, I'd like to see what percent of the game I completed, but I don't care about the achievements. You can they take them or leave them. But actual achievements within Minecraft, I think, are really sort of imperative to letting you know how well you're doing on a particular world. So yeah, I'd love that, please. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sounds interesting. It sounds interesting. I know. I'm trying to think how to say the name. Is it KingBdogz? Is that how you say it?
I think so.
All right. KingBdogz out here with Hi Foxy, Slack, and Jessiie. I love the podcast. My 10-year-old son, Ripley, my wife and I play on our Bedrock realm. It's been great fun. He's at the stage where he's kind of wanting to start building automatic devices, farms, and etc. What advice can you three give him on his first steps into automation in Minecraft? Keep up the good work. KingBdogz. Advice on that one. I'll let you start with this one.
Jessiie.
Okay. Well, is this because I'm the redstone noob?
Yeah.
You're at,
yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. So the way that I started off and the way that I recommend is by playing with like little nano farms. Like, there are tons of videos that you can find online. I'm sure Slack has them. I know Foxy has done at least one. We have so many people. And just like the little redstone things help you figure out what they do. So like, that's why I like nano farms, is I can just say, okay, well, I need a comparator. And then I can see, oh, the comparator does this. And it's just really easy. So that's usually what I suggest, is playing around with like just little farms and then expanding your knowledge.
That's a really good way of looking at it. I mean, for me personally, I go by what Oliver does, and he's really having fun at the minute figuring out how redstone interacts with things like pistons and making doors for his garage and all that sort of stuff. So I think, yeah, getting a good idea of how the different blocks work by just using them in simple ways, like making like a piston door or something like that, is probably a good place to start before you start looking at farms. Because as much as farms are great and the micro farms, like Jessiie says, are fantastic because there's not much to them, unless you know how the blocks work, you're just sort of following someone else from doing it. You're not really learning anything. So yeah, if you want to learn redstone, then figure it out, if that makes sense. Slack.
Yeah, and you got to figure it out from practice. I mean, it literally, honestly takes like watching a tutorial, building it, failing at it, building your own, like learning the core mechanics and then trying to improve upon it. You know, it's like I'm trying to learn flying machines and they're just giving me a headache. But I'm slowly learning, but it's just like, this does this, why? Because of this. And it just, no, it just hurts my head. Just hurts my head. But just start off small and work your way up. That would be my advice. Don't immediately be like, I need a 4-chunk, flying machine, sugarcane farm. No, just build something small at first and then work your way up.
Well, there we go. What's Caroline got to say, Jessiie?
That's a book.
That's what I was just thinking.
Yeah. It's a nice one, so I left it in. I didn't cut this one short.
Okay. Hi, all. I just wanted to say thank you. Like yourselves, I struggle with mental health on and off. I'm 43 on Tuesday, which I'm sure is past, so happy belated birthday, and have played Minecraft since my eldest played as a child. Oh my God.
Do you want me to read it, Jessiie?
Yes, please.
For those of you at home that don't know what's going on here, Jessie's daughter Evie has woken up and is demanding to be seen, which is completely understandable. I think I would be as well if I was a small child. So here we go. Right, yes. So more years than I'd like to work out, lol. Over the last few years, I've played Minecraft as a means to escape my overthinking mind and a way to help my mental health. This helps but add another problem of procrastination from day-to-day jobs that then mount up. I also watch all TB episodes on YouTube also to help distract my mind. I love it. I started listening to the podcast, and again, you're helping me deal with my mental health lows because you have distracted from my overthinking. Laughing at your banter because it's not something I have to watch. I am also getting my jobs done all at the same time. Whoop, whoop. I've just finished listening to episode 4. Yes, I'm behind. Sorry, lol. And you talked about your own mental health and how you can also struggle because of the demand being a content provider can bring. So I wanted to say thank you to you both. This is before Jessiie came along.
Yeah.
For providing excellent videos, but also now the podcast. I have watched you all and listened to you all, and you have pulled me out of many a sad mood and also improved my Minecraft skills, lol. But seriously, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Yours sincerely, Caroline Linklater. Well, thank you very much, Caroline. I apologize for butchering your email many times, but yeah, that's absolutely lovely. And I'm glad that you've found different forms of content to help you get through and avoid overthinking things and making yourself sad, really. So that's good.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it's comments like this that you get while you're streaming or in your videos, or personal comments that you get somebody sending you a message on Discord. I really like the fact that, we're making content, but also we're helping people in a way. I know there was a time in my life where I was dealing with a lot of mental health issues and I escaped. My escape has been many different things over the years, but the last years before TB and everything like that, I escaped into watching online content myself, which meant me consuming massive amounts of like Hermitcraft and other things. So it's one of those things I think that we forget as content creators, that we are affecting people in a personal way. I mean, the fact that you can put out a video and we may record the video and it may make us tired and we may do the edit and we pull our hair out. And you put out that video and then you don't get many comments on it. And you're just like, man, why is people not saying anything in my video? Why are people not engaging or anything like that? And that can sometimes affect us. But when you get a comment like this from somebody who is going through the same life struggles as everyone else and dealing with their own mental health issues, just like we deal with, we all have our ups and downs. But to know that you are helping someone else forget that they're having a bad day or distracting them from a reality that they don't want to deal with. I find that to be a good thing, because in that moment, you're helping them forget about a bad part maybe that's going on in their life or in their brain or something like that. And you're bringing a smile to their face and letting them forget something. So as much of a grind as it is sometimes for all of us, and I think everyone in this group here can say that, sometimes it's like, God, I don't want to record today. I don't feel like editing today. Why are people not commenting? Why are people not, saying anything? But then when you get a comment like this, it justifies it even more. I love what I do. Don't get me wrong. But little comments like this, where we're helping others with their pain in life, makes it worthwhile for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's comments like this, I think, that make me feel like I've made the right decisions, being so open and honest with my struggles and what I've had to deal with, because it's really easy to put on a fake face and just be like, everything is happy and everything is good and I'm here making videos and woo. But when you're just honest and you're like, hey, I struggle, and sometimes it's really hard to do anything in general, let alone sit down at a computer and record and act like everything's okay. And so, especially like you said, when you're streaming, it's nice hearing these things and feeling like, okay, me being open and me being honest helps somebody else. And that to me makes all of it worth it. And it does. It makes me feel like, okay, I'm doing the right thing and I'm making an impact. And I like that. That makes me feel really good.
Yeah, I agree.
Another minor thing I want to add on here. I always have people say, oh, you do a lot for this community and you do this and you do that and you're an inspiration and stuff like that. And I never see those things as myself. I don't know if it's something you all get as feedback as well and something you don't see. And it's a hard thing to grasp, I guess. Some people are like, oh, you made me laugh. You brought joy to my day and everything else like that. And I'm just like, man, I'm just streaming today. But the more I think about it, they don't see your full life. They see those few hours when you're live. They see those videos. They don't see, you stressing about what you're going to cook today or how you're going to pay this bill or anything like that. So if you were to cut out all those things, I guess I could see it. It's like, I don't know the hermits personally. I don't know nothing about their lives. I know that they entertain me, but they could be going through the same mental struggles that we're all going through. It's just, I don't know, from our outside point of view, it's really hard. I can see it, but as the person putting out content with everyone, I just struggle with it. I don't know if that made any kind of sense. It may not have. You might want to remove that.
Yeah,
one
I
from the
got
video.
it.
I don't.
No, it's fine. Slack, I got it. I totally, I agree with you. It's easy to look at something you see bits of and imagine it's better than it is, which can actually have quite a positive reflection on yourself until you try and put yourself in the same shoes and realize how hard it is. But yeah. Right. George Aid says, say you had to pick one current server member to play through a season with, sharing a base, who would you pick and why? Is it because they're similar to your style or someone different from you to maybe broaden your styles? You can't pick each other. A season base share I'd like to see would be Mr. Beardstone and Zap. Oh, okay. Two of the other Truly Bedrock members. Jessie, you go.
I would like to base with DB, I think.
Okay. Go on.
Because DB is somebody who I think doesn't get enough love and attention. I think DB's
you want
brilliant.
To mother him.
Yes, I do. I adore DB, and I think that what he does is brilliant. And so I think me and him could have a lot of fun having a really technical base that is beautiful. And I think that would be really fun to see.
Okay. What about you, Slack?
My first thoughts were literally this group, a shared group, a base between the three of us. Oh my God. It would be interesting and a nightmare. We'd have to have our own storage system though. I'm just saying, you get in my chest, I'm going to hurt you. You get in my chest, I'm going to hurt you. But oh dear God. My original thought would have been Foxy. And then I'd be like, yeah, if he takes something out of my chest, I'm going to hurt him. Then I'll be like, hey, Jessie, because I can build pretty farms, and she can help me pretty them up, and we can have a lot of fun. We can have like, I love building trees. She loves building trees. We can have like this enchanted forest. It would be amazing.
Enchanted forest.
Do not have to pick each other.
I know.
No.
You're asking me literally to pick somebody
your favorite, favorite
that's
DB member.
Yeah. Like, I'd love the base was silent. Oh my God. Could you imagine the technical farms we could do?
Yeah.
How
I
massive
was
and
just
crazy
thinking
they'd
that
be?
from a technical point of view, that would be really good fun. Or even Rogue Fox, because he does amazing things. And like Jessiie B says, DB's technical stuff's fantastic. Oh, man.
Right? Yeah. Good luck, Foxy. You're up.
I don't want to base with anyone.
Wow. No, that's not how this game works. No.
This season, I'm next to Jessiie, next to Mr. Beardstone, next to Zloy, next to Liara, and DB sat on my roof. I got enough surfer buddies. I just want to be on my own next season. Okay? Some space and some peace. Jeez.
This season, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to base with everybody.
Yeah.
Pulls over to very corner of map, just like the previous 3 seasons.
Jeez. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody would lend something really unique and interesting. It is really hard to pick, so I'm going to be that guy that doesn't pick one and just say everybody.
Wow.
Sorry,
you guys just like threw me under the bus. I went first. I actually picked someone,
at
and you
least
guys
came
were like,
up with an interesting and honest
everybody.
answer. But you didn't like, yours wasn't like, oh, DB's my favorite. Yours was just like, I feel sorry for DB and I want to mother him.
That's even worse. That's a pity base together.
No, I said I adore him. You guys are mean. Yeah.
We're the ones that didn't say it.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, right. Slack, what's Deldor got to say?
Deldor. Hey, Forky, Slap, and Jen. I mean, Jessiie. I have an idea for storage. What if you just use a chest for XP storage? It's a boring idea, but it's simple and sweet. Thanks for the great podcast. Deldor got killed by entity cramming from using his XP chest at the Enderman farm.
Okay.
I think we've beat the XP thing to death. But then again, we're going to get comments from older podcasts once again. Yeah, I think we covered that before. If you could hold like bottles or buckets and save the XP and throw it in a chest, why not? Yeah,
but they're saying just use a chest for XP storage. What, like, just have how would that work? What would an XP
straight in,
item
just XP
look
orbs
like?
in the chest?
Yeah.
Literally orbs. I mean, you can stack the
hoppers.
orbs. That's every orb is 10 XP, and you can stack them in stacks of 64. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, that's not a bad idea. I don't know. I don't feel like XP orbs are something you can handle. They're too magical. So
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think there should be an item form of those. I think that, you know, the fact that they're in a bottle makes kind of sense. But yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's Jessie's turn again.
Yay.
Let's see if
Let's
she can read this one.
Brett says, hey, Foxy, Slack, and Jessiie. In the last episode, a piece of feedback or question resulted in the idea of an adjustable mob cap. And that got me thinking, what if we had the option to tailor our own custom difficulty? What I was thinking is that we'd have sliders to control things like mob cap, mob health, mob damage dealt, player hunger. Oh, what just happened?
Sorry, I saw you highlighting stuff. So I had to move the text around. Sorry.
Wow. I was doing so well.
She was in the document she's reading from, which we're sharing. She's highlighting the writing as she's reading it to make it easy. So I just cut a chunk of it out to trip her up. Sorry, Jessiie, my cheeks are hurting now. Right, carry on.
Wow.
You were doing very well.
Okay. Are adjustable via behavior packs. I haven't spent enough time in the documentation to know for certain, but for the more casual player, having these options could really let the player play their way. Now I'm sure these would have to be behind the allow cheats wall because it could drastically imbalance vanilla survival gameplay, and we can't have that. Thank you for all the thoughtful and thought-provoking discussion you provide each episode. Foxy is the best, but Slack is better, way better than Foxy and Jessiie. Wow, you guys.
Okay, we might have written that last line in as you were reading that there.
You think so?
Okay. I really like the idea of having a complete custom difficulty settings. I think that's a fantastic idea. I think, yet again...
I do not.
Do you not?
What?
No.
Why?
Because if you're playing on a server, why would you want your own... Like it seems so unnecessary. It seems like unnecessary in a way that's like, if you want to play that way, just play by yourself.
Well, yeah, but a lot of times it would be like, like half-hearted hardcore and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or, what's the one, the latest one he's done? Slice Biome makes those, where you take one piece of damage and you're dead. That sort of thing it's a different way to play Minecraft, and it's often quite engaging for players to do something a little bit different. So I don't think necessarily you'd want it on a server unless it is one where you just sort of changing mob caps and things like that, particularly if you're doing a vanilla server. But I think for your own just messing about, being able to have sliders for all that sort of stuff would be really fun, personally.
I mean, literally, sorry, off topic here. You were talking about how you take any damage, your game's over. He definitely doesn't play Bedrock because we take random damage all the time just from walking. But for custom difficulties, yeah, sure, that would be okay. What I would like is a difficulty past hard. I would like a difficulty past that. Yeah.
Hard than evil.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Good. Right. Hamster82 says, "Hi, Foxy, Slack, and Jessiie, if you're there this week." Wow. That'd be mean, Slack.
Bye, Jessiie.
Firstly, I just wanted to say that I found your podcast a couple of weeks ago and I'm really enjoying it, so thanks. I've got 2 questions to ask of this expert level 99 panel. Number 1, do you have any advice for recruiting new members to a realm and also keeping them once you have them? I just started doing the admin for a realm that I've previously played on for a year, and we have a core 3 or 4 players that still hop on when they can, but we have had so many come on for a couple of months and never come back. What do you guys think are the main reasons people join and stay on an SMP type realm? Should we answer that first before I read the rest of it?
Yeah, sure. Let's go into that one first.
Okay. My personal opinions on that is that not everybody is a hardcore Minecraft player, and there's a lot of people that have other lives, kids, responsibilities, school, college, work, and just going out with their friends, or things that come up, and life changes all the time as well. You can't necessarily assume that everybody's going to have all of the time in the world to put onto an SMP. So if you're looking for players that are going to be sticking around, join the club of people that are looking for people that will stick around. It's very difficult to do. For Truly Bedrock, one of the things we look at for new players is what exists in servers or like series on their channels that they've had going, how long they've been going for, to judge their consistency and how likely they are to be there and not just disappear off after the first couple of videos. And it's a really hard thing to judge, and you're never going to get it right because, like I say, everything changes for everybody all the time, and some people are just more into it than others. And if you guys are not content creators, if you're just doing it for fun, then there's no need to be there. So you go into be there if it's fun. If it's not fun, let's say you're the server moderator and you've put loads of rules in place that just makes it, not that great to be there, then that's probably the reason people don't come back very often. So you need to have players that you absolutely trust and give them as much freedom as possible so that you're not stifling their creativity. But then on the same thoughts, you're on Bedrock Edition. If you let them do whatever they want, it's going to kill the world pretty quickly. So it's a fine line you have to draw in the sand, and it takes a lot of time to get that right. I don't think, well, I certainly still haven't got it right. What about you guys?
I don't have much to add to this because I've not had a lot of community realms and stuff. Like, I've just been a member, so I don't have a lot of insight on what you can do successfully other than having a nice community aspect always helps. So if you're just playing with friends, sometimes like that's, I mean, it doesn't make for something that is easily acceptable to a lot of new people. Like, if that makes sense, like if you've got a closed community of like 3 or 4 players, it might not feel very welcoming to others sometimes. So I think trying to make a welcoming community is one of the first steps in order to get people to stick around.
I think the biggest argument that I would have in this on trying to grow your realm or server is the misconceptions of what you see. You watch stuff like Truly Bedrock and Hermitcraft and you think it's all everybody on all the time. And it's not. Granted, the main difference in what you're going to see from what we do versus what you're wanting is at the end of the day, we may do this for fun and everything like that, but a lot of us do this for a job. So even on the days where we don't want to play, we got to play. We got to record and we got to edit. So you always see that activeness. Like if you're watching a stream, you may be watching DB stream and you see Silent log on, and you see me log on, and Foxy and Jessiie and stuff like that. You know, it looks active because it is, because we have more than just a investment into the game. We also have a livelihood and or a job, and we're doing stuff with it. So you're going to get that ideal from watching a series like Truly Bedrock and Hermitcraft that it's always busy. But that's not how it is, because at the end of the day, we can't set this down if we're doing this for a living. Foxy can't. I can't, unless I want to go back out and get a job that I don't want. I can't. I have to do this constantly. So you're going to see that activity if you're watching somebody else's stream or content. Hey, SlackLizard has joined the game. SlackLizard waved. SlackLizard's doing his own thing. At the end of the day, a normal player, it's a game. They can shut it down. They can walk away from it and deal with life. You know, they can literally walk away and it not bother them. We can't. So you watch these series of other Minecrafters and stuff like that, and you see them come out on a consistent basis, and you see them doing multiplayer things, and you're like, yes, that's what I want. And that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted too. Getting that with, how do I put this without sounding wrong? The general public is a lot harder to get. When I tried to do that before content creation, maybe I would post my stuff on Xbox things and on forums on the internet and everything like that. And out of like every 2,000 people, you might get one that would stick around for a few months. And if you're lucky, you got one that stuck around for a year or longer. It's like, I guarantee you, each of us three here can go back and we can think of our community when it was only one or two people.
Yeah.
And it slowly grows. It slowly grows. Even with us having the exposure that we can get from what we do, our communities grow slow. Sure, people may subscribe and comment on your video and join the stream, but I guarantee you the three here can name their core. Their core people who are pretty much always there that you can count on. And that's taking us years to develop that. And you're wanting to develop something like that. Now, yes, I say go for it, but understand you're not going to have 30 to 40 people right off the gate that want to go. And especially on the new world, you're going to have people on the new world that are all go, no quit. But that's the thing. Everybody plays Minecraft different. You're going to have the people who want to play on the world for, say, up to a year. Okay. And then you're going to have people who in 2 months have built every farm and they're done and they're burnt out. So they got to go somewhere else.
They're waiting for the next reiteration of the world. Yeah, exactly.
They're already screaming reset 2 months in, and somebody else who only gets to play 2 hours a week because they work a 50-hour a week job hasn't done nothing. And the thought of doing a reset just literally drives them out. They're like, no, I'd rather play a single player world at my own pace. So yes, build your community, but understand it's going to take time. And the misconceptions of what you see with us, there's times, I guarantee you, each of us in this group, there's quite a few of us that play TV. I guarantee there's many of us that have logged on and seen nothing but AFK accounts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's not a one-size-fit-all thing. Slack just hit on something there saying about people that play fast and people that play slow. And it's like for our patron servers, it's a real difficult thing to juggle and manage because we want to keep everybody happy, obviously, because we got a financial benefit for doing so. But if I was doing it with my friends, I would probably say, well, look, this from the start, this is how long the world's going to last. We're going to do this, that, and the other. So you've got expectations there, and people can manage that from the offset rather than going, oh, well, I thought this would last longer, 6 months in where everyone else is ready to stop. The other thing I would say is that one of the things for Truly Bedrock recently, really, particularly this season and a little bit last season, that's kept a lot more togetherness going on there, it's just having weekly meetings that we don't always have. We should do, but we don't always. But most weeks we'll get together, at least a few of us, and talk about things. So you don't need to be running an SMP to do that. You can, or a content creator SMP, you can just get together with the people that you're playing with and just spend half an hour a week at a set time a week just doing stuff together.
Community events as a group.
And I think that's a really good way of doing that. So yeah, manage your expectations. Don't expect too much. I mean, for me, I live in the UK, different time zones to Jess and Slack completely. Most of the time when I log in, to Truly Bedrock, there's no one online. And most of the time, there's not even AFK accounts on. There'll be occasionally an AFK account on, but it doesn't get busy until the evening. So I miss it when it's like the busy times anyway. So
like right now, let's see. Tues is on, Beardstone, Jade, Groova, Dr. Beardstone, and AFK Lizard.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's all random.
Right. Okay. The second question is related to content creation. My son Eric is 9, and most kids his age see a future on YouTube. Can you, any of you guys, offer advice on starting out as a content creator, or even any skills to work on behind the scenes, such as editing, recording? We'll make sure he credits you when he's famous. Thanks again for the entertainment and providing the quality Bedrock Edition content. Much love, Hamster82. And I'm sorry for laughing there, Hamster82, but my kids are exactly the same. I think that they're all going to be making those sweet dollars on YouTube in a few years' time. My personal advice there, and I know you hear this from all of the YouTubers, is to seriously do everything you can to steer them down a different route. It's such a saturated thing to get into, and we're all, at the tail end of what is, I think, the acceptable time to be joining YouTube, particularly if you're thinking of making Minecraft videos. And we're all growing very slowly because of it. You get a few breakthrough channels that start new and just explode, but it doesn't happen very often these days. Although, having said that, recording, editing, and speaking they are transferable skills that you can use elsewhere. So if your son does have an interest in recording content or recording audio or editing things, then build on those. By all means, there's plenty of free ways to get into doing those things. And even if they don't end up being a content creator, maybe they could end up as a video editor somewhere or editing videos for a TV production company, because whether we like it or not, there's always going to be plenty of content for us to consume in one way or another. But the other thing I would say is absolutely do it, but do it for fun and don't expect to get a job out of it. So get them into the mindset early on that, make videos for the fun of it, but don't think, I don't need to go to school, I don't need to do my homework because I'm going to be a YouTuber, because you're just going to lead yourself straight into the unemployment line at the closest job center.
That's literally like somebody playing football all since they were a kid and then blowing their knee out in high school. Sorry, that career that you had planned is now gone. Don't bank on it.
Yeah, exactly. Jess?
I was going to say, depending on where you live, for someone who feels like they want to go into something like YouTube, I would recommend, because a lot of schools have electives where you can do something like speech and debate. Speech and debate would be wonderful for helping you be able to speak clearly and for you to be able to kind of get your opinions out. So I always recommend stuff like that. Also, they have AV classes, stuff like that, so you can get into computers and editing. So if you're really interested, I say put some work into it in school if you can, and that'll just help you. So by the time you're done, you do have actual skills that you can use outside of YouTube or outside of things as well. And I think that's probably going to help you in the long run.
Yeah. And speaking skills. I know we all learn to speak growing up, but actually being able to speak publicly and speak clearly is a massive help, not just in content creation, but just in life in general, in a lot of things. So that I would definitely, that's a good one to focus on.
The last thing that I would add to it, aside from speaking, I struggle with words all the time. Ideal, they, them, they, all this. I struggle with the words, but the thing that I would add the most is if they're serious about it and they want to do it, then they should do it. Don't come up with 1,000 excuses why you can't do it. I can't do this because I don't have a good computer. I can't do this because I don't have a good microphone. I can't do it because don't have an excuse. Just do it and accept the fact that it's not going to be perfect and that you're going to have to evolve as a content creator. Like I go back right now and I watch one of my first episodes and it's like, hello, anyone, everyone, and no one, welcome in. And it's just like, Jesus, what was I thinking? Like I cringed just listening to it. But it was the recording and editing and learning how to do that. And now I know that when I come in, I should be loud and flamboyant like Foxy. Hello, anyone, everyone, and no one, it's things you learn. It's things you learn. Don't be put off by if you record it and you edit it and it's not perfect. put it out there, learn from it, and keep going. How many people in this group right here have recorded something, went to edit it, not liked it, and totally deleted the episode?
Oh,
Never.
yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
But we should have. Well, that's because at this point we've got the experience on some of them we know, but it was also, we should have just done it, should have just done it and learned from it and evolved from it. I don't know. Don't have an excuse. Just do it if you're going to do it.
For me, when I first started, I recorded my first episode, or at least played it speaking out loud at least 20 times without actually recording it. And then I recorded it for real and it went in the bin because it was awful. It took me to like my third or fourth attempt and I just decided to completely sack off what I had planned to do because I realized that actually doing things while talking, because I didn't do any editing back then, it was all like Stampy Long Nose single playthrough things. It was impossible, so I just stuck with a world tour rather than, hey, we're going to build this crazy thing in Minecraft because it was so hard. So yeah, just do it. It's fine and learn quickly.
Playing and talking and focus on one thing and playing the game. It's a skill set on its own. It is.
Agreed.
Right, it's like, what's Cranier got to say?
Cranier has to say, going back to spawner grinding for experience due to the furnace fix. Well, good. I'm glad the furnaces got fixed. I would like for that to go away. Well, it has, except we haven't updated. Anyways, because we haven't updated because of slabs now. But anyways, right. I have noticed that it appears half of my XP goes to my levels and the other half goes to my tool to repair. Both go up at the same time. Has this always happened or is this a bug as well? I thought we were supposed to have smart XP now, where if the tool's broke, it goes to the tool first, and then it would go to the XP bar.
I think that's coming in the beta, isn't it? I know we now have it so it used to go on your armor even though it was fully mended and you didn't get any XP, but they fixed that in like 1.16, I think. So I'm pretty sure the whole once you won't go to the player at all if your tool's slightly broken. I think that's coming in a beta. I think
that'd be nice. That would be nice.
Yeah. Okay. Last email. Lucas says, "Hi everyone. Hopefully this makes it in time. So one of the things I want to tell you is that schools are forcing kids to write big books in everyday life, which usually ends up very long, like this email. It's not a very long email. Do not include this in the podcast."
Keep reading these.
But everyone just send out sound files of their email so you don't have to read it. This podcast is really good. I hope you don't stop. I love listening to it while biking. It's expert level 99. And then there's 3 questions. But the reason I left that in is I intentionally left that in. I want to address this because some other people, some very smart individuals on my Discord decided it would be a really good idea for, rather than us reading out our emails, for us to feature audio clips from people asking questions. Slack's shaking his head, and he doesn't even have to edit the podcast. I'm going to just say absolutely right now, flat out no, because as much as that sounds like a lovely idea to listen to, the amount of time it took me to just level all of our audio, get us all sounding right, EQ us for us ourselves.
He complains about my audio every week.
To then go,
Jessiie, your audio sounds so lovely, and Slack, yours just sounds horrible.
To slap in just some completely unfiltered audio from anyone, anywhere. Perhaps they're outside walking the dog, perhaps they're inside and they've got kids jumping about, perhaps they're at work and there's machinery in the background. It's just going to be noise that I won't be happy with putting on the podcast. As much as I should just be like, I'll be right. It's like no different from someone phoning into a radio show. No, I would like it to sound good, so it would just irritate me doing it. And the other problem with it is actually playing it to us all during the podcast. We've got no system in place to share something like that, so we'd all have to have like the files listed somewhere and then all click play at the same time and hope we were hearing them at the same time to do it, and then I'd have to edit that into the podcast. It's just a no. So nice idea, but no, we will stick to reading them out, and one day hopefully we'll learn to be able to read them out good. Anyway,
and then a minor thing I want to add to that. And then I struggle with words on a screen enough. What if somebody's got an accent that I can't understand? No. What did they say? Huh?
Yeah.
Can't understand you.
They're out in the wind. Well, what? Yeah, put that one in the bin. Jeez. You got any thoughts on that, Jessie?
Jessiie B, you did it. You did it.
Wow.
Before we do this, it's the questions.
Wow. I love the idea of being able to like have somebody just like whoop, like clip in, say something. Like that's cool. Love idea. Great, brilliant. Not practical.
No, it's not. It sounds
Not
dead easy.
practical.
Mike, you need a soundproof booth.
Yeah. So great idea, but no.
Jeez. Okay, the 3 questions are, first of all, what's the longest email you've ever gotten? It was about
Probably
I think it was
victim.
5,726 characters, although I did have another one that was 5,727 characters, but I'm not sure if that one counts because it was spam. So what about you, Jessie?
In general?
I don't know. I just clicked delete,
Probably something from my son's school, most likely.
No.
So I don't know.
Newsletter emails the worst. I don't care. Just take him in the morning and give him back in the afternoon. If he can sleep over, that'd be an advantage. Jeez.
Longest email you ever got. How to reset your password. Right. Next.
Are you ever going to make a podcast with the Spawn Chunks team? That would be fun to listen to. Well, I'll never say never, but it's not something I don't think we're considering at the moment, and certainly haven't approached the Spawn Chunks about. I mean, if they wanted to have us on, I'm sure we would all be honoured to be there, and I'm sure we'd all go. But it's I will never say never, unless Slack, Jessie, have you got something against them? You don't want to go?
No, but that's just.
I do think it would be really interesting to get this group with that group, specifically just for interactions. I would just sit back with my popcorn and just listen. It'd be great.
I think we're a little bit
Foxy
early days to be
with Pixel over something. That'd be great.
I wouldn't argue. My goodness me, I'm not. But yeah, I think it's a little bit early days for us to be having, visions of being an actual podcast, let alone on the same. We're on episode 11. Yeah, we're getting there. Right. Anyway,
Wait till we get triple digits, right?
Exactly. Last question was, if you suddenly became head of Mojang, what would you change? Right, Jessie first.
I would make the teams communicate better. That's the first thing I would change. Java team, Bedrock team, communication, weekly meetings, how to get on the same page.
Yeah. Jack, Slack, whatever your name is.
Well, at least I wasn't slapped this time. Jesus. Excuse me? Alexa, stop! I didn't even say her name.
Sorry.
Good job. Anyways, what would you change?
So we don't want to put all of these sound files of people into the podcast because it's such a quality production.
I didn't even say her name.
I love it.
I think Toretto did. He's really like laying on it. I think. I think he hit it with his tail or something. He hit the auto talk button.
Jeez. Okay, so
right.
what would you do if you suddenly had
I would make a change to how they produce and or play, as in, okay. I'm gonna break it. For all of you that don't know what that loud noise was, that was my same device, and I'm not saying its name. Let me know that there's a notification.
What device is it?
I'm giving you the look. I'm just saying. They can't see it, but I'm giving you the look. Okay?
Damn it.
Okay, so I think one of the things that we don't like is the disparity between the two versions. I mean, literally, Slice Slime, you said he's making a new version. You take any damage, your game's over. He does not play Bedrock at all then. Because if he played Bedrock Survival for more than a day or a week, he would understand that we take random damage in Bedrock just by jumping. So I would designate that, okay, well, at least 1 week a month, you can't play Java. You got to play Bedrock. You got to develop on Bedrock. You quit treating it like a shunned uncle. Mojang is Minecraft in general. Oops, I hit my mic. It's play both versions. You can't just be stuck. Oh, I only do Java. That's it. Play Bedrock as well. Experience some of it as well. You put your name on Minecraft as a whole. Play both versions. You have to play each one. That has to be a requirement. You have to play and or develop on each one. You have to understand both. But
you seem very passionate about that, Slack.
Yeah, very. Just a little bit. It's hot in here. That's not sweat dripping all off of me.
Jeez. Yeah, I think, I mean, we don't know what happens in their offices. That's just, I mean, that our views from the outside, it certainly seems that way. But yeah, I would agree that I would section a certain amount of time every day to not just play in as in, oh, well, I'm just going to walk around this world and see what it is and go in a couple of caves, but actually building on a team survival world between them and maybe even giving them a list of like, okay, these are the objectives you've got to achieve. You've got to build this farm today. You've got to do this today. You've got to do that today, so that they start stumbling across these bugs and realizing what the issues are and the disparity, like you say. So I think that's a really good way of doing it. I probably also, I mean, this would be really difficult for the employees, so let's just imagine that it's not for the sake of doing this. I'd like to bring everybody together to the same office so that you've not got some people in Sweden and some people in America on a completely different time zones with language barriers and all that sort of stuff. Just bringing everybody into the same building would be great. But yeah, just bringing awareness within the actual company themselves over the massive issues between the different versions of the game, I think would be a good start. And probably, focusing on getting a lot of that ironed out rather than particularly pushing out crazy new updates like we've been getting over the last few update cycles. But yeah.
Why is there nobody doing hardcore series on Bedrock? Well, one, we don't have a default hardcore. Foxy made a nice pack for that, but we couldn't do a half-hearted one because you literally start the game, you walk around, you jump up a block, you die. Yeah, no. Good talk.
I could make a half-hearted hardcore pack for Bedrock Edition. It'd be very easy. You just wouldn't live very long.
Can you fix the taking half a heart of damage when we just jump?
Well, let's hope that that's going to be fixed, because in the last podcast, we talked about how the Minecraft 1.18.27 beta had all of those damage recalculations done on Bedrock. So damage is going to be calculated more accurately and taken more accurately. So fingers crossed. Well, you don't know.
But they also, in the latest preview, as Jessiie said, that like saturation doesn't even work right. When it goes out, you eat food and it won't even heal you. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, we've had issues with food before on Bedrock, haven't we? And they say they're going to do one thing and do something else, but that's just par for the course of Bedrock Edition. Sadly, though, it's par for the course of our podcast to finish at this point. All there is left to say is that we're going to be making content for you guys over the next week. Jessiie B is going to be streaming on Mondays and whenever, it says. And it's going to be putting out videos when she can be bothered. It says. I'm going to be streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays on Twitch as usual, hopefully doing my Monday stream on YouTube. I haven't done one of those for a while. I'm hoping to pick that back up, and I should hopefully at some point have some videos coming out for you guys as well, and maybe even some news about my website. And Slack says current schedule. What is schedule? YouTube videos Tuesdays and Friday. So there you go. Don't forget, if you want to get in touch, you can email us at theminecraftupdatepod@gmail.com, or you can catch us on our Discord. All links in the just, get in touch. Send us an email, write us a comment, join the Discords, all that good stuff. But for now, I'm off. See you later, guys. Goodbye.
Bye.
You didn't do it again.
Say it louder than her. Did I cut her out?
I did do it this time.
No, you didn't have a little green line around your box this time, when
Yeah, I didn't see
I
it
did.
neither,
Okay,
yeah.
well, when you get the audio, you'll know.
I'll know.
It's there.
I will. You probably muted yourself.
Yeah, good talk. Good talk, Jessiie. Good talk. He might edit it when he can be bothered to do it.
I got stuff to do, Just sitting here editing podcasts every week. Jeez.
Well, apparently we need to do like 16 a week.
16 a week. Yeah, we soon get up to triple digits that way, and then we get on the sponsor.
Woohoo!
Good talk, people. Bye.
Bye.